relaxing morning. So join me in a relaxed position. I want to talk to you today about intentionality. In everything that we do, we should have an intention. We should know why we're doing the things that we want to do. So, when you think about why you're watching this video right now, your mind could be saying any number of things, but what does your soul say? And then start to build that on an even bigger and bigger level. So, this job that I have, what is my intention in having this job? This thing that I'm trying to build or create, what is my intention in building or creating this thing? And then slowly over time, you begin to realize that you have an intention in every interaction, in every relationship, in every thing that you do. You have an intention. And that helps you get out of everything that you do exactly what you want out of it. And this isn't a selfish thing at all. It becomes a very beautiful thing because you realize that everybody on earth has an intention for their interaction with you as well. And you'll eventually be able to read into what that is. But for now, we're going to stay in very beautiful spaces, very soft, kind, loving spaces, just getting to know ourselves a little bit. So relax in here. Just relax. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Really cleanse your channel, open your channel up here. You can close your eyes if that helps you go within. And as you close your eyes, I want you to ask yourself the question, what is my intention for this video? Specifically, what's your intention for watching this video? And don't let your mind answer, just let yourself feel that answer, to know it, to feel the emotion of it. You might have a word pop in your head. It's not something you have to think about. It's just there. Interesting. Now take the word that you received, whatever that intention is. I'm writing down my word. Now, I want you to define your word into one of three categories. So, if the word that you received is for a physical healing, that's going to be the first category. If your intention in watching this video, if your soul or your subconscious mind showed you that you're watching this video for the efforts or for the end result, the end goal, or the intention of physical healing, then you are in group 1. If your soul or your subconscious mind told you that your intention for watching this video has an emotional goal to it, then you're going to be in group 2. So an emotional goal could be peace, harmony, love, laughter, anything that has a feeling to it that you're trying to apply into your life at this point. And then, if your particular intention that came to you had something to do with a vision or a dream for your future, you are in group 3. So this is anything that you're wanting to create, anything that you're wanting to build, anything you're wanting to be for your future or your higher self, you are in group 3. And if you don't know quite where you fit in because your word doesn't seem to clearly define any of these 3 groups, give yourself another moment to go within, to shut your eyes, to ask, which group does this belong in? And simply allow yourself to receive that answer. Now, with mine, I'm going to have to ask that question because I don't feel like the word I got clearly falls into any of these three categories. So I'm going to give myself just a moment to figure out which group that goes in from my guidance, of course. Okay. So I apparently am group 2. And though I'm the one getting this, I'm going to say that this is a collective thing. So at the end, I want you to, really hold to your particular group. But at the end of this, I'm also going to share with you what I had, what came to me, because I feel like it could apply to many people as we go along. So I have 3 decks over here. And with these 3 decks, I'm going to draw a particular card and do a little mini reading for your particular intention. And we'll use a different deck for each group. And this is my beautiful pink crystal that wants to be with us. There's a phoenix encoded inside of this beautiful crystal. So, spank her little butt. Okay. Oh no. We had a huge reading here. Okay. So, the first card, this is for your physical group. This is group 1. So these are all the people who had a physical intention. Your overall card is the serpent. So as an overall card, this is your Kundalini energy. This is all of your vitality, your nourishing energy. The Kundalini energy lives at the base of the spine, and the more that it's awakened, the healthier your Kundalini energy is, the more vitality and energy you feel. The Kundalini energy nourishes the organs in your body, it moves up your spine, and eventually it's thought to bring enlightenment as it reaches the top of your body. But what I really love about the serpent card itself is that this is also our connection to our feminine energies. It's our connection to Mother Earth. And so getting in touch with nature might be a really big step for you guys personally. Awakening that Kundalini energy through breath work and movements might be a big step, or doing your inner connection to your divine feminine self. Whether you're male or female, your divine feminine aspect of self is the part of you that's wild, untamed, beautiful, just everything that nature in itself is in an untamed way is your divine feminine. It's all of your cycles and allowing yourself to go through those cycles in a beautiful way. So this is the overall goal or next step in your physical healing for group 1. Now, we have 3 cards that came out as micro steps to reaching the goal of your full Kundalini energy, which nourishes the body and brings health and healing. This is a lot. Okay. The first step isn't an easy one. It's the vision quest. So when you're doing your first step towards awakening your Kundalini energy, you're being asked to go on a vision quest. Now, the vision quest can be as small or large as you want it to be. A vision quest usually entails a lot of distress placed on the mind, emotions, and body in order to invoke visions and get you out of the physical realm and into the spiritual realms. So for some people, a vision quest can be going out in the woods for a week. It could be going through a cleanse where we're not really ingesting a lot of food. We're mostly just doing liquids and things like that. A vision quest could be travel. It could be going to designation places where you are doing spiritual healing work. There could be any number of things that you're guided to in this vision quest. And there's a particular book that's coming to my mind. Let me grab it off my shelf. The book that's coming to my mind is One Spirit Medicine by Alberto Villoldo. And in this book, he's really talking about, let me show you again, One Spirit Medicine. He's just talking about health in general, physical health, how to detox the brain with superfoods, detox the gut, work with your luminous energy field. But somewhere in this book, he talks about a pilgrimage or a vision quest. The journey of the visionary is what I believe he calls it. The vision quest, yes, chapter 13. What an amazing number for that to be on. And so it talks about how you can apply quantum mechanics and quantum theory into your day-to-day life to go through a vision quest without having to leave your normal day-to-day life. He does it through diet. So he has all of these supplements in here that you can start taking. There's a lot in here that if you do it the way he says, I have 100% faith that you will be going through a vision quest. And he does the 3-day vision quest here. So that's an amazing thing to do. Just throwing that one out there. Glad that came to my mind, because actually the deck that I'm pulling for this group is Alberto Villoldo's deck. The Mystical Shaman Oracle Guide. It's by Alberto Villoldo, Colette Baron-Reed, and Marcela Lobos. So, beautiful. First step, figure out your vision quest. Second step is the stand still. So with this particular card, this is where we are taking time for introspection. We're taking time to digest, to integrate the things that we learned, the things that we saw, the things that we felt. And this is not to be confused with stagnation or not moving forward. With this one, it's just an act of pausing and observing. Because after your vision quest, when all of that information is swirling inside and you're detoxing, you're going to need a moment to observe your life, to observe your environment, to observe what's going on around you, and realize where energy is stuck in your life, where you're receiving energy from in your life, things that are filling you with positivity, things that are filling you with negativity, and just observing, not doing anything with it yet, just observing where everything's coming from. And then this third card that we've got here, the staff. This card is actually representative of a tool. So in the first card, you're being shown an action to do that can be life-changing. In the second card, it's more of an observation and seeing what's going on in your inner and outer world. And then in the third card, you're being given a tool. This card, the staff, that's a symbol of authority, more or less. The staff holds our power in balance. It's our ability to temper balance, to walk in certain directions in meditation, to be in the middle between polarities. This is our masculine, this is our feminine, this is our light, this is our dark. So this is how we balance everything between work and play, right and wrong. Everything here is within a balance, and the staff is the tool that you use to balance everything. And I've heard this a lot with naturopath doctors, homeopathy people, and different people like that, where even a lot of shamans, they don't believe in completely getting rid of the things that we consider bad for our bodies. They believe in a perfect balance, and that is how we bring health to our bodies. We don't have to completely stop eating chocolate if sugar is our problem. What we do have to do is detox, reset ourselves, see where the problem has been in our diet, chocolate eating, and then use it only in balanced ways. Maybe that's ceremonious ways, or just on the occasion. But bringing balance to your day to day life is going to be a big thing. So, your reading overall is the serpents, awakening your kundalini, spending some time with your feminine energies, connecting to nature. This is your goal for physical health. How you get there? Step 1, go on a vision quest. Step 2, observe your environment, where positivity and where negativity is coming in, what your toxicity is, and then using your tool of the staff to bring balance to your everyday life. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Now we're going to move on to group 2, which is the intentionality emotion. So with group 2, this is the people who had goals of bringing some sort of emotional healing or balance, whether this was for peace or joy or happiness or whatever that was. And I'm picking this deck for group 2. And we're gonna do this little reading for group 2. Ooh. That one's calling me, so I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. I feel like there needs to be one more. They're all very subtle feeling, except that first one that flung itself. Okay. They are very subtle. So with emotional goals, anything that you want on an emotional level, what we're looking at here is how we have given our life over to fate. If we're having issues with our emotional problems, according to this reading, it's because we have disempowered ourselves and we are seeing life as out of our control. We are seeing ourselves as going through the motions, going through the actions, but not really having a clear definition of what our destiny is or what we want to accomplish, how we really want to feel each day, and how to get there. We kind of feel like we're taking whatever we're given by the universe instead of standing up and saying, this is actually what I am, and this is what I will receive in my day-to-day life. What I will receive is love. What I will receive is joy. What I will receive is acceptance and positivity, connection. The difference we're taught between fate and destiny is that fate is what the universe gives us based on our subconscious wishes, and your subconscious vibrations are based on all of your life experiences, your limiting belief systems, and your past traumas and wounds. So that is what's applying itself and appearing inside of your life right now. Is just everything in your life right now is based off of your old wounds and things that you believe. So when you decide to break that cycle and step more into empowerment and destiny, what you're doing is you're saying, I am creating my own trajectory for my life based on what I want. And sometimes this might mean healing those past traumas. This might mean breaking down your own belief systems. And I find that that's probably the hardest thing for people to do, is to be presented with a new belief system and allow themselves to actually believe it and to stop believing the old belief systems. Because if you believe that you are incapable, if you believe that you're smaller than other people, if you believe that you operate in scarcity, then these are all things that keep presenting themselves to you. That's what your subconscious is creating for you. So we have to believe that we're beautiful. We have to believe that we're powerful, that we're capable, that we're strong, that we're abundant. And once we actually believe those things, that's what comes to us. Now, the steps that you received within this, so this is a little different than the first reading. With this reading, they're showing us what the problem is, not what we have to get to. We're not getting an end goal here, we're seeing the problem. Now, the problem aside, within that, we pulled two cards. One of them is the eyes of the eagle. And so, with this card, this is essentially saying get out of the day to day mundane stuff. Right now, you are stuck in this cycle of fate because you are just eye to eye with the muck. You are drowning in these little puddles that you could easily stand up in if you just stood up. You are stuck in the gossip, stuck in the drama, stuck in the cycles of everything. And there's a lot of fear here a lot of the time. When you are in a space where you're having to live paycheck to paycheck, or you're not sure where your next thing is going to come from to pay the bills, to eat your meals, things like that, you become stuck in the mundane. When you live in a place where your work environment is very negative and there's a lot of backbiting and gossip and talking about each other and things like that, we tend to be very mundane. We're stuck in these mundane cycles. And the eyes of the eagle tell us we need to rise above that, not because we're better than those people, but because we have higher vision. And when we can see the big picture, when we can pull away from the gossip, away from the muck, away from the trauma, and see the bigger picture of what's happening, we'll be able to create a different trajectory for ourselves. And the second card pulled here is your heart home, or compassion. When I think of heart home, I think of welcome home. I think of I love myself. I am my safe space. I have my highest good at heart. I am the one creating everything that I want in my life. My life is what I want it to be. This is where you really take control, not by overpowering or controlling, but you take control by relaxing into yourself and who you are and your self-love, and being a peaceful space within yourself, being a compassionate home, being a nurturing person inside of yourself for yourself. When you have made your inner world a safe place, when you have made your inner world a safe place, that will eventually be reflected in your outer world. That means, how do you talk to yourself? What do you believe about yourself? How do you treat yourself? Because this is exactly what's reflected in your outer world. So when your inner world can be safe and peaceful, your outer world will become safe and peaceful. And you start that by getting out of the muck, out of the drama, out of the gossip, out of the politics, out of all the shit that's in this world that drags you down into your lower chakras. The lower chakras are very necessary. They're very, very necessary. They're your foundational spaces. Everything else is built on that. But it doesn't bring peace. Peace is in the mind. It's in the heart. And these places need to be higher than that. What else do you want to say about that? I hear you. Tell me. I don't understand this message. A grandfather just came in and said your niece is something. I don't understand the last word that he's saying. I'm going to sit with him for another minute. So this is probably a very personal message for somebody who might be watching this. I don't understand that word. Can you show me in a vision? So this particular ancestor or grandfather was using a word that I thought started with a CH, but I really couldn't interpret it in a way that made sense to my brain. So I asked the ancestor to show me what this meant, and I saw like an opera house with all of the curtains coming up. And the energy felt very behind the scenes. I feel like what he's saying is that your niece, whoever this is will be coming on stage soon. Right now, she's operating very behind the scenes, very kind of hidden, maybe not feeling ready. But pretty soon, the curtains are rising and she's going to come on stage and she's going to start operating in her power, in her gifts, and her abilities. And this will be important for the family to understand so that they can offer her support and be compassionate, because coming into your abilities and being on stage is not an easy process for anybody. It can be very tumultuous. Family members might not understand what the person is going through when their gifts really open up. So this is a message that's coming through very specifically so that you can be prepared, so that you can prepare her. She will need the support and the love unconditionally, without judgment. You're welcome. Okay. So that was a beautiful reading with a little visitor. Our third group is our vision group, our dreams for the future. If your intention was dreams for the future, if you fell into that group, then this little reading is for you. Okay. So we have 4 cards that came out here. The 8 of Fire is the first one that came out. Now, with this particular deck, we are using elementals instead of regular suits like pentacles, cups, swords, wands, stuff like that. So 8 of Fire is the first one that came out. It's a very beautiful card with a panda. And this card is basically like your momentum card. And you can see that she's riding on the back of a panda here with all of the fire around. Fire is representative of action and transformation. So right now, you are going through a transformation. When you talk about your vision, your dream, the thing that you're creating, this is your transformation process. It might involve a little bit of travel, but this ultimately is talking about how your dream is gathering momentum, and it is going to be a swift change. There are going to be swift changes coming. So that's the first card, and it's actually the center card for this. So when we're looking at your vision, that's pretty much your message. Swift changes are coming, transformation is coming, momentum is building, and this is going to bring you some transformation in there. Now, the second 2 cards that we have over to the side, we have the 10 of Water and the King of Water. So our main card here is Fire, which is that transformational process. But then when we get over to the future steps of that, we're looking very much into emotion spaces. Water is emotion. Let me find this in my book. And they're very extreme cards as well. The first one is the 10 of Water. And by extreme, I mean they're on opposites. We have the number 10 versus lower numbers, and then we have the King versus numbers. That's the King of Water. So when you're looking at the 10 of Water in the future, after your transformational process, after this builds speed and it brings swift changes, we have peace, we have serenity. If you look at that, that just looks beautiful. He's just sitting still, no worries, living in the present moment, water flowing around easily and beautifully, the flowers next to him in a very balanced way. This is peace, serenity, good fortune, well-being. And then you have the King of Water and the king of your emotion. This is somebody who's very diplomatic, very generous, very fair, gentle, non-judgmental, a peacemaker, a mediator, a listener. So after your transformational process, you have an inner peace that comes, but then you also get to be the person who holds that space for your community and for your environment's emotions, the emotions of your community, the emotions of your clients, the emotions of whatever's happening with this goal that you're trying to build. You get to be the peacemaker. You get to be the person who brings that safe space for these people. Now, I did pull one card, which I have not looked at yet. We're going to look at it together. And this card was on the opposite side of the future. So I feel like this card might be not quite the past, but the places that you're stepping out of now that you're stepping into that transformational space. And this is, the Seven of Earth. He's handsome. Now, number 7, we've talked about the number 7 quite a bit in our past videos within numerology and how this is like perfection within certain senses. But Earth is very representative of physical things as well as our grounding abilities and our abilities to be in this physical realm, building physical things. So it feels like where you're stepping out of now is a crossroads. The Seven of Earth is very, very representative of a crossroads, of making different decisions, of making changes, of coming up with a new strategy. This is being able to observe what's happened and progress in a different way so that you have different results. You can reimagine, recreate. If you have been sitting with something you've wanted to create, this is where you get to step back from it, look at it from a different angle, and completely reimagine what it is you're wanting to create. And then this is going to be the thing that brings you into the transformation, because when you reimagine something, when you recreate, when you rebuild something, what you're doing is you're letting go of all the parts that didn't work, all the things that no longer serve you because you've grown since you first started, and you are simply integrating your ability to not be afraid anymore. You're saying, this doesn't serve me, this didn't work the way that I thought it would, and I'm releasing also the negativity, the fear, the things that I might have had in the beginning that I'm ready to release because I'm ready for my transformation. I know that I'm always supported. So that's a beautiful card, ultimately leading to your transformation, your forward movement, your travel, your growth, that brings you peace and the ability to be a peacemaker in your community and with your clients. The collective message for today, the word that I got when I was looking into my intention for creating this video, I got the word soul tie. I heard the words soul ties, and that felt like something lower in the body that eventually would go up the body into the heart, creating connection. Now, we hear a lot about soul ties in a way that feels negative. Like we don't want to have cords to other people where they can have our energy or where we're sharing energy with other people. But this doesn't feel like cords or having to share our energy. This feels like friendships, making soul connections with other people. And this, I was told, fell under the group 2, that category of the emotions. So there might be something coming up for you guys now about finding your tribe, your diatribe, about finding the people who you connect with on a soul level. And I'm being told right now that you don't have to search for this. This isn't something that you have to find. When you come across these people, you will know. And whether these people are long distance, whether they're people in other YouTube groups or teachers that you see, whether they are people in your community, you have soul ties with certain people that you want to connect with on a heart level, that you want to be peaceful with, that you want to hold a peaceful space for, that you want to show up for. And this is a beautiful, beautiful process that's happening within the collective as we realize that we don't need other people to carry us. We can do everything inside as we sit in our heart home, in our compassion spaces, getting out of the mundane gossip and trauma. But once we are that safe space inside, how we'll start meeting other people who are also safe spaces inside of themselves. And then we get to just be in peace, in a peaceful way, with other peaceful people. And slowly, this starts to connect all over the world. And the reason why a lot of these people might not be local for you is because this is something bigger, it's something global. Because when you're able to get yourself in that heart, home, safe place inside, and then you send that energy up and out, you might not see or feel another one of those connections for several states or from another country. And what it's doing is that people are connecting their energy, their safe space, their love spaces across the globe and encompassing the world in an energy that's needed collectively. If all of these soul ties were there in your community, then only your community would be connected. We are working right now on a level that's connecting the world. So your soul ties are not always just right there with you. You have soul ties in Canada, you have soul ties in the United Kingdom, you have soul ties in Australia, in Hawaii, in the United States, you have soul ties in India, you have soul ties all over the world. So that when your beam of light shoots out into the sky, we are connecting the entire planet in a beautiful way. We are encompassing the planet with this beautiful energy. And I want to meditate on that for just a moment. You can do this on your own, or you can do it with me, however you feel guided. But I feel like for just a few moments, I'm going to sit peacefully and I'm going to imagine sending my love energy, my peace energy up into the universe, up into the stratosphere, and seeing that connect with all of the other people who are also doing the same thing. I'm going to meditate specifically on the meditators and allow our energy to connect all over the world in a way that encompasses, embraces, and supports the planet. I hope to see you there.